And welcome back, guys. So I filmed this intro at the end of putting the slammers on, and I must say I am so chuffed that I managed to do it myself. Had a couple of really good tips that were given to me from the guys on my Motonewbrider page, and I asked a question around if I am going to start doing my own work, my own servicing, my own changing bolt-ons, etc. What do I need? And the first thing that came up was a service manual. So I downloaded the service manual from Sportster 10.5. Buying it at Harley Davidson is going to set you back 140 quid, and I got one, so bear with me 2 secs. So downloaded this, which is the service manual, got the wife to download it for me, we bought a folder, got some poly pockets, and I guess this whole thing probably cost me about 15 to 18 pound versus 140 quid. Or alternatively, you don't even need to download it, you just got it on your phone. So that was a really good tip, and this is what I've used today to change the shocks as well. The other good tip that I had was only buy the tools that you need for the work that you're going to do. We all see it everywhere. We've got Snap-on, all these amazing brands, loads of spanners and all this stuff. But for me, I've just started off with a really small toolkit. And with each job that I've done, if I need more stuff, I've simply just ordered it. So it hasn't cost me loads and loads of money. Third tip that I had, and I think this is just as important as 1 and number 2, and that's take your time. Today doing the shocks has probably taken me a couple of hours, and the reason it's taken me so long is that I've just been very meticulous, I've made mistakes, I've corrected myself, and that's the reason why. So let's talk about these slammers that I've just put on my bike. First thing that you guys should know, I bought them from a place called H&C Custom, which is in England. The good thing about these shocks is that they're built in the same place that Progressive and Burley Slammer do their shocks. So it's actually built by Progressive Suspension, believe it or not. These shocks were 150 quid, and I think for bang for buck, absolutely amazing. The other thing that I'll say, the reason why I bought these shocks, and I just want to be 100% clear on this, for the look. It's not because of the ride or anything like that. If I wanted a better ride, I wouldn't be going down from 11.2 to 10.5 inches. I'd be going up to 13, 14 inches. That's what she said. But anyway, I just want to make that clear. So I know, before all the comments start flying in, when I eventually take this bike out for a ride, it's going to be pretty bad. But it's going to look the absolute nuts. So that's it for the intro. Without further ado, let's get into it, and you guys can watch me put these shocks on. Okay, so for anyone asking, you can see that in terms of the length of the suspension throughout the Sportster range, although the suspension is the same for the 2018 plus models, and the length is actually different. So mine being the, it came from the 48, that was the donor. So it's 11.2 inches. So the H&C Custom or Slammers are 10.5, so I'm dropping it by 0.7 of an inch. So quite a decent amount. Right, straight to the instructions, because number 4 relates to the 48, which is that absorber, which is great. So see figure 2130, which you just did. Remove mounting fastener 6, 5 and 4 from bottom end of shock absorber. Yeah, which is there. And then number 5, remove mounting fastener 1 and washer 2 from top end of shock absorber. So the key part is to go from the bottom and then go to the top and then remove the shock absorber nice and safely. So that's what I'm going to be doing next with you guys. One of the things I like to do, because I'm so new at this, just want to take pictures of what it looks like before I start wrenching things off. And the reason why I'm doing this, because I'm a newbie, if there's any complications, I can always look back on how it should have been. You know, things can go wrong, so let's get on with it. So here we go. First bolt to come out. Loosey lefty. That's nice and easy. Okay, and as you can see, that's starting to swivel. So I need to apply some pressure that end. 3 1/4. That's about right. Spot on. Oh, impressing myself here. There we go. That should come out nice and easy, which I can see it is. There we go. There we go, one bolt. So now we're going to go for the top, and I believe it's 3/8. There we go. All right, loosey lefty. That's tighty righty. Let's go. There we go. And the suspension moves away lovely. Whoop. Don't want to scratch the frame. I tell you what, the joy you get from doing your own work like this is brilliant. Granted, obviously because I'm doing this on camera, it's taking a lot longer than it would, but love it, absolutely love it. Okay, so that's feeling really, really loose. And there you go. Just fell away. And there is one shock. Okay, now it's time to do the left-hand side. So same as before, bottom off, then top, and then we're ready to start the install. Okay, now we move on to the top part. Loosey lefty. And the top one is nearly done. You feel it all getting loose. Beautiful. Simple as that, he said. There we go. Beautiful. Both shocks off. Let's just move this somewhere safe. Let's stick it somewhere at least. There. Stay. Don't move. There we go. Both sides off. Okay, so let's try this again. So this time around, following the instructions, learning from last time. Got my Loctite, which will go on to these bolts here, but you can see how I've just set up the mounting fastener, the washers, obviously how that all connects to the shock absorber. So that, guys, is how it should look, but all the instructions and all the stuff that you need is in the kit when it comes, and actually use a lot of the stock stuff anyway. So without further ado, let's finish this thing off. Okay, so we are rolling. So let's get the Loctite on. Like so. Super. Let's just position this right. Like so. Let's twist that shock. Let's just get that. That's how it's currently looking. Now, my thoughts are at the moment is I've got very, very little travel between the fender and the tyre. So this is going to be a bit of trial and error when I get back onto the road, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So last thing we need to do, guys, is the torque wrench. Now I'm following the instructions, and according to, and let's just go back to it, I have dialed it in into my phone as well. We need to go to 35 foot-pounds. So when I've dialed that into my phone to get the translation of that, that is 47 Newton meters. Now, I haven't got a torque wrench that goes up that much. Well, I kind of have, but I haven't got the right attachments, if you will. So what I'm going to do is use this torque wrench, and this goes up to 25. So I'm not going to be taking this out on the road at all because of COVID-19. But what I'm going to do is tighten it up to that and then give you guys the visual on how this thing now sits. How Fat G now sits. Actually, I tell a lie. It does fit my big torque wrench. Look at that. I mean, look at the size of that. It's like, I have the power, He-Man. Anyway, enough of that bollocks. Okay. Whew, that is tight. Time to tighten the top mounting fasteners. Now, my torque wrench that I need for that, or the hex bit, doesn't fit my big torque wrench there. So I go for the small one. The most it'll do is 25 Nm now. I'm not riding this, so that's okay. So we'll just tighten it to what it can do, and then I'll sort this out before I go riding. So now everything's all tightened up and all we need to do is show you guys exactly what Fat G looks like with that rear. But I must say, I'm liking it already. So that's it guys, shocks are on. What can I say? Putting your own stuff on your bike and doing your own maintenance is really, really cool. And I must say I'm learning stuff as I'm going, which is absolutely fantastic as well. And of course, it's going to save you that little bit of money going forwards. So as I mentioned in the vlog, the last thing I need to do is just torque a couple of the bolts that are on the top. And then apart from that, Fat G is ready to go. Now I know once I start riding, I'll need to do some further adjustments with the tension on the springs, all those things, and the shocks do come with those adjusters as well, which is great. So that's it. Next thing I want to do, and this is going to be the big one for me, I want to take off the front forks and I want to actually anodize the fork tubes, and I'm either going to go for a gold or a black colour. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So see you on the next vlog guys, all the best, take care, Motonewbrider.